Hello everybody, welcome back to PadFootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice behind the icon, and today we are back in Planet Coaster. This also marks the return of new videos. I have not recorded a video that has not been a vlog for about, oh god, it was June, May, let's say even May, June, July, August, September, October, for 5 months. For 5 months we have been trying to build this house from the ground up. And, excuse me, even once I got everything set up, only this past week did I get my microphone in and everything rehooked back up and everything reprogrammed to be able to start recording videos for you guys. So that's why there's been such a gap. But starting here, we are back to 1 video a day. We're going to at least try that. I'm really excited to be here. This is the 6th. Of course, it's saving, so we're a little buggy right there. It's the 6th of October right now, and like I said, welcome to Riverside here in Planet Coaster, everybody. Wow, things have changed. Let's take a look around the park. So as we come through the main entrance, you're going to see a lot of like random tanks around and pallets everywhere. This is just my way of inventorying everything we're going to do. Let's start from actually up front, and I think probably the best way for us to do this it's going to be my favorite way to do this. We're going to go to staff, we're going to go to all staff, and we're going to go down to find our one staff member, there you are, who's called TedJCam. Why, people may ask, just in case you don't know, boop, we are now down at people level, and I am going to run us to the front entrance. Ignore anything that you're seeing right now. We'll just look down at the ground. Ignore all that, ignore all the bush, and the bush has been there. Now we're towards the entrance. We're in the entrance. This is great. This is high quality content. Welcome back. I'm really excited to be recording for you guys once again. And I'm really excited to be just making content again. So let us have ourselves come in. We have temporary fencing here that is going to be switched out this year. Let's see. Can I actually make us go slower? Nah, well, it's going to be moving around like that. Of course, let's take a look. Nothing is changed up front to the main entrance. To my knowledge, I don't think anything's been changed since you've been there. But let's head towards customer service way. Ignore the propane tank. This is going to be here. This is here for certain effects that are going to be here. All these tanks will be hidden away. This is actually another piece that's in the Theme Maker toolkit. Again, this community making some amazing stuff, and you'll see a bunch of it throughout. But let's head into the lobby, which has done some change, and there's still a lot more to come. This was just me getting it prepped, and then I realized, you know what, I actually want to be making videos of all the progress that we're going to be making. So, of course, we've got the lobby, we've got our payphones. I realize now that these are the exact same payphones as I've already had. So you can null and void with that. But what we're actually doing is we're taking the up top, which was just walls that were going up partially to the ceiling. We're actually going to put office space up there, like actually little offices of customer support for the building. We're actually eventually going to build a little headquarters somewhere on the property and a warehouse to store everything as well. But we can come through here. The big thing that's changing here is we've redone a little bit. There's still a lot more to do. The countertop that were up front, we've squished them together so they're one solid piece going all the way down, and then there's countertops on top. This is eventually going to be cased off with a door for safety reasons, because it's before the security checkpoints. I'm on scaffolding. How do I get down? Did I get down? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. And then of course you could go into the park. Nothing's changed up here. Oh, there was one thing. If you remember in one of the episodes, I'm not sure how much I actually talked about it. We had a secondary bathroom right here. Well, the problem that came with this is I never connected it to a path. So it actually ended up becoming disgusting. It became smelly. It gave off those little green waves, and you could tell that obviously was not a good place to be. And I couldn't get a janitor to go to it. I couldn't figure out why. Because there's no curving on this path over here, because we're inside. Well, it turns out it was never connected to the path, so nobody could actually get to it. So we actually just destroyed it anyways. There's a ceiling in here now, which is nice, which is also the floor of upstairs. You've got your water fountains. Of course, that's not new. Stroller and wheelchair rental as needed before you go into the main park. But let's take the main entrance. If you were to grab your tickets from customer service, you could go right in there. I always like to take our main entrance in. If you've already got your tickets, you're ready to go. I need to get rid of that. I was doing a couple other little test things before I finished. But come through here to bag check, which I wish was a little bit bigger because this is really small for the crowds that we end up actually getting. But we're going to come through. Everything's beautiful. Propane tank. It's also going to be hidden away for the pyrotechnics that happen at the beginning of the day. Still nicely hidden away, everything. This will probably go over here behind some of the bushes. That's my job, to figure out where to hide everything. A couple new additions that are going to be around the park, though, are going to be these. Yet again, these can be found on the Theme Maker's Toolkit. Just go to sort by recent and do all time, and you'll find anything and everything in there. I just keeps on downloading more and more and more because this community is making some amazing stuff. You've got these great wear the mask signs, as well as these hand washing stations that you can tell are 100% temporary. We're going to be putting these around the park where they make sense. Of course, it still needs plumbing to it, so you're not going to put it somewhere in the middle. That's just not something that we'll usually do. We're going to be putting in some new turnstiles. I actually like these a little bit more than our other ones. I'm going to put them side by side to check scale. That's going to be one of the biggest things that I need to look at is scale, because even in Theme Maker's Toolkit, there's some people that still kind of forget what scale is all about. The other things that we're going to be doing, we're going to be switching out these big, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, these big, bulky fans, and we're going to be changing them out for these smaller ones, more realistic looking fans. Woo, ceiling fans. Don't climb on that. Going to be filling in a couple of the gaps here so it doesn't just have an opening that goes up. Potentially, I'm not 100% sure how I want to do that yet. So we'll look into that. Let's see, anything new up front? We're going to make it look a little bit prettier, probably over the time. Well, before we go out, let me address something really quick. There's two things. There's one overall, and there's one thing that we're going to be doing with the park. First thing overall, just about videos in general, is the way that my house is set up now. If you've seen any of our home improvement videos, I think it's 17 or 18 of them that will eventually be out. This will be out before they're completely out and finished. My house right now is 2 rooms, 2 large rooms. So you're going to hear dogs barking in the background. You're going to hear them playing with toys. You might hear people moving around. This is the best that we're going to be able to do until I can build an office out in our garage. But hey, we just bought a house, so that's where we'll start. Second thing, with the game, I've decided, because our fictional park actually takes place, I've always thought of it kind of up in New England area. New England, just like the rest of the country, is still being hit really hard by COVID. And like Six Flags New England will not open this year. So I have made the decision that Riverside Park will not open this year. We had that one preview weekend where you guys got to see people coming in, which I loved it. But that will be it. I want to try to get something maybe for Christmas. Maybe do a select few during Christmas. But we're counting this as our seasonal maintenance, where the park is closed and we're going to do massive renovations. After only being open technically 2 days this year. So this park is definitely hurting and wanting to have people back in. We've made everything beautiful. You guys have seen the changes that we went through just to get to where we are right now, and we've got a lot more changes to show you. So hoping things will get better overall and all around. But let's head inside, through the metal detectors, we go through the brackets. Let's see, anything new up front? Let's take a look around. Of course, we got more of the hand wash stations as we come through. Here in front of us, I might as well tell you what some of these projects are going to be. We are actually going to be putting like a souvenir stand. That makes sense right at the heart of the park. As soon as you walk in, it's going to be underneath the gondola system. Arcade, not arcade. Merchandise area here. I'm going to detail the inside. Well, we're going to detail the inside. That'll be one of our projects. As we head into Old Riverside, I'm still not super happy with the sign, so we're going to be playing around with that a little bit as well. Let's take a walk in. Here's another one of our new pieces, social distancing. These are going to be actually all out over the park, just as a reminder to keep 6 feet away from everybody. As we come through, nothing has changed, except it's not done yet, and this is, I think, still This is still up in the air. We may be rebranding this ride. It's still going to be a runaway railroad, but it may not be called Old Riverside Railroad Escape. I think I have a pre-made sign. We'll check in our storage area here in a little bit what we might be doing with that. But nothing's changed really over here. The other little details, actually, and if you're new to the channel, we even go down to how tall you have to be to get onto the ride. So we're trying. We're definitely trying to get into that world of more detail. One of the big things I'm really proud about is that you can't see from world to world. Now, the western area goes down this main strip, and over here is going to be something different. But you can't see through. There's actually going to be a building. There was originally something here. There's actually going to be a building here. So I'm not as worried about it right now. You can see that the gondola system actually goes behind these two buildings. What it's going to be is this will be your entrance to the gondola system, and this building is going to be your exit. So we're going to take out these doors. We're going to detail the inside of these buildings because if you look, they are hollow right now. And I just figured that was a way to incorporate it into the world without having to see the actual gondola system through it. Eventually, there will be a path through these woods to the next area, but of course, that is a 2021 project. I'm almost certain that we're not going to be able to start that this year. But let's keep on going down. Again, the hand washing, I'm going to be able to speak, station here and ready for everybody to use. Continue on through. Want to do a little bit more vegetation work here. I don't like just seeing grass. It's not exciting to me, so a little bit more vegetation to be put in here as we head into a couple areas that are going to be a little bit different in the park. So we are going to gut out the inside of this restaurant. So of course the restaurants that are here for use, you walk in, they disappear. We're going to gut out the interior of this building, and we are actually going to put, I'm thinking we're going to put a couple stalls in here. Just so it's a little bit more realistic. And what I'd also like to do is we've got some Western animatronics, so put a stage over here, have maybe some inside eating with, you know, a little animatronic band playing some music. So that's one of the projects that we're going to want to look into over the wintertime refurbishment. As we come through again, of course, the beautiful... I love our rock formations and our little mountains and water. That's one of my favorite things. Coming this way, Copperhead Strike. I think this is different from last time you've seen. Actually, period. We are working on the building now. We're doing a lot of like little striping detail. Each one's like an individual piece. Every green part, every white part. Still working on it. Like some of the layering. Like I don't like how that lines up, but I'm really excited for a new roller coaster in the park. Of course, that got put in. Pretty much last winter, and it's almost going to be sitting here dormant for a year besides those 2 days that we opened for previews. So that sucks. Excuse me. Coming through the back over here, here's these animatronics I was talking about that we're going to put inside on their pallets as they got delivered. Again, Theme Maker's Toolkit right in there. We're going to take off probably a bunch of these signs. Now, I like the advertisements of the signs. I like him being there. But I'm not 100% sold on it yet. We're going to be putting another bathroom here because I realized we don't have one really at this side of the park yet. And then there's a possibility of another expansion of an additional gift shop. Something else to make us money. We are going to be expanding this building a little bit to incorporate a kitchen. Now, I actually want to do detail of the kitchen. You can actually see... You've got menu boards, we've got drink containers that actually have name brands on them, you've got open signs, you've got ketchup bottles, you've got vents, you've got tables, grills, everything. And then over here, there's a giant fridge, or, you know, rotisserie and stuff like that. So we're going to go through and do a lot of detail, and of course the propane tank, which is already going to be able to live, excuse me, over here. So yeah, there's that addition in the Western world. The other things that we need to work on is obviously finishing Copperhead Strike. We need to be able to detail the antique cars because they literally just sit here for now. And of course, we've got the shoot 'em up game now. Yet again, there's no name. This path was temporary, and we still have to finish it. I think that we're looking really good so far. Of course, there's a lot of small detail, but we'll finish it over the winter. To go through and just reminders of sightlines. That's what a lot of this stuff is actually here for me, is to remember what we need to do. Of course, you've got room number 3, and we've got room number 4. Now, number 4 still has some detailing left to do, because I'm still trying to figure out how we can have somebody fall in and, you know, things break and just make it a little bit more exciting. Well, I am in a wall. Let's get out of here. Then we've got this room, the main room, where some of our animatronics are stored, and then, of course, the epilogue. At the end, you get to see your score before you come back into the station. Of course, all kinds of theming to be done here as well. Another thing that's going to be coming over here is this is actually pretty old. This was, again, available on the Steam Workshop. These are just pre-made assets. I liked it. I thought it was really neat. It's using some of the water. It's like water cannons to go through. Just a fun little addition for this area. I did decide that we are going to actually change this outside to black and be tiered, and we're going to put a town in front of it to try to mask the building, instead of having this giant tan building all the way around. As we come over, this is for future expansion, which is amazing if you really think about it. This was rides. This was actually a big part of our park, was all through here. This is where our storage was and everything. But we actually took it all out. We put barricades here for trucks if they needed to go that way. Yet again, I'm a nerd and I put in that kind of detail. But just to keep things from going into the river at this point. I'm not sure if I said it before yet or not, but this is going to become like a pirate world. Pirate and Western right next to each other felt right, and we can do a lot of theming with that. Of course, you're going to have the pirate ship. You're going to have a lot of things to be able to see. There's going to be a log flume and a roller coaster. That is what's planned right now. The hope is to eventually buy the land across the river and actually have something, probably a ferry system. I'm not sure what we have for really watercrafts here. That will be able to bring guests from one half to the other. Of course, we're going to figure out a standway as well, and then probably an expansion of the gondola system. But we're back here at Main Street, more or less, and let's continue our journey of what might be new. So let's head this way. Nothing in the carousel, nothing in the first aid area. You might start seeing some changes as we walk through. The big change that I want to come over here and discuss is we have our souvenir shop that's going to be going here. And we are actually, you can actually see them already here. We're going to put an arcade. This is like small town USA, world, land. We have a sign, location, we might change it up. Where it's going to be originally placed. This was something that I thought about the other day of expansion, but we're going to put an arcade here. We've got a bunch of these pre-made assets, which was, again, in the Theme Maker's Toolkit. Amazing stuff. Pinball machines, skee ball. Now, they're obviously not interactable with the guests, but, again, I think these are really awesome to be able to detail inside. And, of course, we can put our actual claw machine probably on the outside. It'll be a building that people probably will not be able to enter. Let's continue on this way, and then dun dun dun, you'll notice it's empty. So after a lot of thought, I decided it was time to get rid of the last remaining structure of the original park. So if you have been watching since the beginning, well, first off, I appreciate that, but odds are you have not. You would know that right here was our original food stand, our original food building for this grove that we have here where you can come in and sit, which has been revitalized and amazing in here and beautiful. I decided that it was time to tear it down. I didn't like how I was doing the inside, the way that people were kind of in it, going in and out of it. And in today's COVID world, I really wanted to plan ahead. So what we're going to do is we're going to have kind of a row of probably like 4 stalls here, 2, maybe one's over here, of different stalls you can go for food. It is out in the open, so again, worried about rain. But a lot of indoor restaurants aren't super common in a lot of theme parks, unless it's like Universal and Disney, stuff like that, who do operate in the rain. So that's something that we're looking at. We have not had rain, obviously, in Planet Coaster, so I'm not worried about that. We're going to have a bunch of the stalls, a lot of custom spots. throughout here of all different food, and then there's going to be a patio sit area out here. It's going to allow you to look over the river so you can see this ride go by, and eventually you'll be able to see this whole part of the park and, of course, this whole part of the park. But it's just going to be a nice outdoor, beautiful eating area with a lot of places for the people to sit. Now, you'll notice also, with that building being gone, because the building was here, there's something else missing. A ride that really has been left behind, left behind was Insanity. Now, it's really out of nowhere. It was this rotating ride where we had put lighting trusses and light up signs say Insanity outside. But it was all by itself, and it was really felt out of place for theme, because there's no theme really over here, except, you know, like USA Town, which goes over here, like classic USA rides of fair and everything like that, and the Dipper. So I decided we actually moved that out. It's going over to USA Town, whatever we're going to call it. It's going over here. We'll go and see that here shortly. It's actually behind the Ferris wheel. Ooh, where are we going? Where are we going? I don't want to click on that tree. So we took it out to expand this area into one big eatery area. So it's still going to be the main hub, but it's going to look a lot different and a lot more suited for post-COVID world of being able to social distance everybody. Let's keep on walking. We're going to head over here to the Dipper because guess what? Boom, boom, boom. Ignore. I put a dumpster here because I like the detail, but I forgot to turn it off. It's the stunt dumpster where somebody's supposed to be falling into it. So that trash is trying to escape. You'll notice that the sign for the Dipper is gone. And that's because the Dipper is being renamed. I know, I'm changing everything and anything that was original to this park, which I kind of feel bad about. But yet again, changed with the times. I do believe it's called Blue Eagle, American Eagle. We'll go look at its new sign. Again, it's a pre-made sign. I think it'll just match a little bit better than just generic The Dipper. We've taken the sign off of the side of the coaster as well. Again, just trying to update everything in the park. Here's where we're going to have the entrance sign into, like, you know, USA Fairtown, whatever we're going to call it, the fair rides. We may end up changing its location to, I don't even know. Because, yet again, this kind of feels like it should go together. I may end up changing eventually the entrance to the Dipper. Well, formerly known as the Dipper. I just don't know where we're going to put it yet or how. So there will be that. Coming over here, the newest thing is still something I'm poking around with because I want to look something a little better. The little motorized, you put in like $1 and they let you drive around little boats. This is what I like for now. It's a temporary thing. If we move the entrance, I'll make this a little bit bigger, add some more boats, add a little bit of scenery. These used to be super common at like Six Flags parks and stuff like that. I don't think they're as common anymore. I haven't seen any, but of course I haven't been going to as many theme parks as I used to. So we're going to leave that there. We're going to put up fencing and, of course, everything. That's something I threw in the other day. Continuing our way down, you'll notice, dun, 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 part of our forest is gone. Why is part of our forest gone? Well, we're going to have another eating establishment. That's something that people have been really poking at, you know, for the guest here and comments or messages that I've gotten from people, is that if I'm going for a realistic park, I need to make sure that people are spending money and that they are fed and hydrated. So within here, of course, you can see we've got all of our stuff again. We are going to be putting a retro diner. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go yet. It's probably going to go right in this slot. It's actually going to take up most of the room. And then we will probably put a couple of individual stalls. But I think this is mostly going to focus on a retro diner. Excuse me, which is going to take me a little while to figure out what I want to do for design. So that'll probably be one of our later projects. But it'll be going in here and just all the detail possible, but to give you another eatery area within each zone. That's the hope that I'm going for here. So as we come down, we've got a couple vehicles here for, you know, the yearly maintenance. As we head down Main Street, nothing is new here. Nothing new to see. We're going to round this corner. This may be new for you all. I'm not sure exactly the last time we saw it. We got work lights because I was trying to see some stuff when it was doing day and night cycle. Of course, we got all the fencing. We've got a little bit more detail to do in the whip. which I know it's been a long time since you've seen a lot of this. We're putting crawling vines to separate the park and the, I just realized I accidentally deleted all of that fence. Whoops. Between the park and the parking lot, a little bit more greenery, and we're going to put bases around these trees as well. So let's continue our way back this way. Dual restrooms are going right here. Again, that was another note that I need to put on. Eating stands, once again, it's not going to be a restaurant. This is just me thinking of it. There's just going to be individual stands, again, of quick-to-go items. Coming around the corner, before we go down that way, let's peek in here. We have built another storage area, and it'll eventually turn into something else. Now, I put a lot of stuff in here that I just wanted to be able to see what they look like, but it was also kind of a prep zone for everything that's going to go into the park. So, of course, we've got our dumpsters, scissor lifts, trucks, forklifts that are defying gravity because I accidentally deleted something, and a couple other items. I do like some of these Coca-Cola ones, but if you kind of look at it, it kind of feels like a rubber eraser, in my personal opinion, the way the textures go on these. So I do like them, but these might be something more being backstage. We got to do a lot more backstage area. There's a couple games that were, again, in the workshop. You got, of course, the basketball, and then you've got the ducky grab game. Somebody put a lot of effort into these, and I actually really like them. So if I have a room in the park, that's why they're sitting out there, just kind of as a reminder to look at it. Of course, these were actually all layered out of things that we're going to go around the park, little details. We're going to ignore what's over there to the left for now. We've got stuff for our shops. We've got details around our diner. We've got fire suppression systems, air conditioners. And then what's going to happen to this area once it's empty, we're actually going to, hopefully, if everything can kind of get its stuff back together. One of my favorite things that was ever at any place that I had gone to was when they do concerts. If you were able to go there and do a concert. So we're actually going to build a summer series stage and have crowds out here in the back field of the park. You guys will see where it is in a little bit, you know, compared to the park before we expand that way, just to see if it's something that kind of fits this aesthetic. Now I'm going to pop over here. Lighthouse is obviously for the pirate-themed area. It's a little bit lower detail than what I was expecting when I downloaded it. I still need to be able to get a top, you know, a light in it and figure out exactly what I want to do. Because if you notice, there is a top. You look from any other angle, it's not there. So a couple gaps there. Drying systems, ignore the bright red. That was just the default color, if you can notice. Dryers for when the log flume goes in the pirate area. We've got Christmas things, because in case we were able to open a little bit for Christmas. Popping over here, this was our customer service benches. We've got drink stands. We've got Rock the Boat, which might be one on the ride. Security check sign that needs to go up. Plan Code Diner, Chief Beef, giant sign. I like the giant Anubis, so I put it in here for no reason. Different fences. So, a couple things that are actually the important things over here would be... excuse me, I like the different types of fencing. We're going to be looking at that. But runaway mine train ride entrance. This looks a little bit nicer and more detailed than what our original sign looks right now for Riverside Railroad Escape. So we may be switching this one out. I'm going to see what it looks like at a later time. Then over here, Blue Eagle is going to be the new name of the Dipper. Again, the color scheme already fits this. It already feels like an old American Patriot roller coaster. So we'll do that and put up a little dedication sign because I've been working with custom signs recently. So there you have it with some of our new stuff that's going to be happening around the park. I'm sure there's a couple items that I have missed. One thing I did need to show you guys is this. Of course, I knew that there was the T-Rex. We had that before. But somebody built Shin Godzilla from the Japanese Shin Godzilla movie. And he's obviously not to scale. But I love Godzilla. Always have, always will. And I love, obviously, Jurassic Park, too. But again, I couldn't... just actually being able to look at it, he's just towering. I had to put it into the park. It's like 5 different pieces. I think I put them together quite well, considering what you have. Because these are, like, empty layers, as you can see them. The chunks missing. So I'm feeling just happy. Just happy. I had to put it in here. He will live in the park now forever somewhere. Yet again, I own the park. The guests don't, so whatever. So there you have it. There's a quick view tour of our park. Let's go back up to Skywards. There you have it, everybody. This is what we've got. Ignore some of the stuff over here. I was looking at some pre-made buildings, trying to get some inspiration. You can see that the concert area is going to be out here in the woods. It is going to go back a little bit further. The original idea was actually to do a kids zone expansion, probably a second parking lot to go here, because I count this as kids, and we've got kids right here. I forgot there's something else I got to show you down here. But our property line, in case anybody's curious, goes right here. There's actually a fence that goes on the road. We technically own the road, but we don't own to that side of it. So eventually we're going to have to do some detailing there. And then eventually we're going to expand. We have all this area to expand. Probably around here you can't really delete those trees, but you can manipulate the land all throughout. So we've got a very, very large area to eventually cover. So our land goes from here. We own halfway through the river and the lake, and we own over to here. There's going to be a warehouse developed over here. There's a garage that's going here. Again, just all the pieces that we're going to need for the park. But again, before we get too massive, I want to fill in all the nooks and crannies that we have right now. Excuse me. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see that this is Insanity's new home. Obviously, it just got placed here. It has not been detailed at all. Now, this ride here, I don't think we've actually renamed it yet. Okay, we have. Okay, so this is known as Caterpillar Run now. This was originally... it was Dragon something. Dragon Slayer, Knight's Journey, something like that. And this car, instead of being a caterpillar, was a dragon. And this is the actual roller coaster, not rebuilt. This is the roller coaster, the original roller coaster that was placed, I believe, it was right here. When we originally did the park, it came out when we had done this expansion here, and when we put in the roller coaster, it actually got picked up and just moved over to storage. What's really interesting about that is that roller coaster, this one right here, was the first thing that we ever made in Planet Coaster. As well, it's still here. This is the only original piece that we have. When we came in and we quote-unquote built this park, we made a new entrance. Before we even put on our expansion, we built a new entrance. Next to that, I think the oldest thing is the building for the station for this runaway mine train, after getting rid of the original eatery and, of course, the dipper as well. So, times they be a-changin'. We've got a lot of episodes to come. We've got this food area. We've got to finish this ride. We've got to finish Copperhead Strike. We've got a restaurant over there to renovate. We've got another thing to build. Gift shop, arcade, food, bathroom, food, concert area. This needs a station. We've got a lot to do before May next year. May 2021 is when I'm hoping to open. I'm hoping to get the place at least semi-presentable for Christmas if we feel like we can open up for the week of Christmas to be able to celebrate with everybody, celebrate all of the holidays that are happening around that time. But we will see. So that'll take a little bit of time. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I can't believe it. I've been talking for over a half an hour, and all I did was show you the park. It was nothing any more special than that. Like I said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed. I realized that this whole time you didn't have any music that you're listening to because I forgot to unmute it. So I'm sorry that it's just been me talking this whole entire time. But we're back. I'm really excited to be back with you all. And here we are at 418 subscribers now that I'm looking at it. And here's to many more as we work on year number 3 here on YouTube. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed what you saw, we are on Instagram. And we have a brand new channel, PadFootTD Live. Those links are down there in the description below. You guys know what to do. I don't feel like I want to ask for subscribes or likes anymore. So the outro is going to change a little bit. I thank you guys for coming out to this one. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.